Good evening. Good evening. Hope everybody's well. Happy weekend. Happy Father's Day. Shout out to all the fathers. I don't care if you're a stepfather, grandfather, adopted father, foster father, street father, not the father. Happy Father's Day to you guys. Excuse me, real quick. Yeah, I definitely wanted to do a quick open conversation regarding Father's Day. There's a lot of great dads out there. A lot of dads don't get recognition, so they want to do a real quick stream one time for those fellas out there. Definitely want to shout out the new subscribers here in the channel. Peace and love, y'all. Thank you guys for showing me so much love. Again, if this is your first time here, take a picture, pause this, take a picture of this right here. This is the channel. Like and subscribe. Show your love. But welcome to my channel. Open discussion tonight. We definitely see the difference between Mother's Day and Father's Day, from the commercials to the gifts to the acknowledgement, the appreciation. I wanted to open discussion on that. I want to know what you guys think about it. Is it just me? Is it only my perspective? I don't know. But I do know I want you guys to like and subscribe to this channel right now. I definitely want to do that right here. And it is NY Grapevine. That is me. Show your love. How you guys doing? Happy weekend. What's going on? Shout out to Uncommon Simple Jose and Grown Urban Fatal. Thank you guys for popping through. So I'm definitely gonna drop the link to the channel at some point. This is gonna probably be short. I don't have really much to say, but I definitely want to hear you guys' feedback if you have it. So one moment, let me get my stuff in order. Anybody want to send a special shout out to a dad, a father, someone gone, someone not here with us, someone who is here with us, someone who you feel needs special acknowledgement that's not getting it, that goes above and beyond, and you want to shout that person out, please feel free to do so here right now. The link has been dropped. Let me know how you guys feel. Again, I expect this to be a short stream. It's been a while since I've done an open discussion. I've been having my little structured conversations as I'm trying to structure how I want my channel to grow. So for those of you know what it is. But tonight's open discussion. You want to pop in, you want to shout out a father, a dad, a stepfather, a grandfather, an adopted father, a foster father, a street father, a man who's raising someone else's children, is not even a father, anybody at all. Please show your love. Please shout out the father who you feel is the father of the year, or the father who needs the acknowledgement, or someone who is overlooked and not appreciated. So I have my first guest here for the night. Please welcome to the stage, Mr. Uncommon Simple Jose Negron.
Good evening, Keisha. Thank you for allowing me on your platform. And I just want to say a huge shout out to my own father. I mean, it's been almost 12 years since he passed away, but he continued to live in my heart.
Okay, very nice. Thank you for coming up to do that. I think a lot of people, forget about the lost ones, and it's important to remember them.
Yeah, that is true. And, and to be perfectly fair, um, like Mother's Day, Father's Day can be like a bittersweet time because not everyone enjoys a healthy relationship with their father for multiple reasons. Also, for other people like myself, um, our fathers are no longer here on earth. So it's just another reminder that our fathers are no longer physically with us, but they're with us in spirit.
Amen. Amen, for sure. And we also have to highlight and pay attention to those people who didn't even ever meet their fathers or knew their fathers. I'm pretty sure that impact, it hits different for those people that fit into that category. There's so many different people with different situations, and we all know there's someone who doesn't know their mother, or doesn't know their father, or their parent may have died giving birth to them. So shout out to those people as well, going through that traumatic experience and hopefully pushing forward in a positive space.
hmm Well, one thing, and this is something that I discussed when I did my stream regarding the shout out to the fathers. I mean, the best way to honor the memory of our fathers that are no longer with us is by applying the life lessons that they taught us and for us to try to be the best version of ourselves.
Absolutely. It's not easy for everybody, but absolutely any kind of jewels that you can take that you have that you can utilize in your own life and twist and make it better is definitely great to have those wisdom talks and those memories and those actual things you can do you can
Yes.
remember from your dad. So absolutely.
And I also want to encourage those that for whatever reasons that they are estranged from their fathers for whatever reason, if they can try to be reconciled to their fathers, because once their father is gone, it is too late. Good evening, Irby. Thank you very much for stopping by.
Yes, thank you,
So
Irby.
yeah, so that's I would encourage anyone that's having a poor relationship with their father, if they can try to be reconciled. It do take two people that have to decide to be reconciled, though.
Amen. Absolutely. Like I'm not even religious, but some things just really hit home. You want to just, say it in a way that every culture understands what you're saying. But I definitely think, we don't recognize and acknowledge, the fathers that work 2 and 3 jobs or, didn't get any sleep or, sacrifice their pensions, their savings, their dreams, their ambitions, their goals to be who they are. So shout out to those men too that didn't get a chance to chase their memories because they were out there just being a great dad, being a great father, great role model, great man for their household and for their children.
Well, look, the reality is this: Father's Day is like one of the least acknowledged holidays of the year. And also, you know, the fact of the matter is that today there are many people are living without their fathers for multiple reasons. It could be because the father passed away. It could be because there was a physical abuse, or it could be other reasons why the father is not active in a person's life.
Yes, definitely. There could be a plethora of reasons. Like I even know some people in the LGBTQ plus community that don't have relationships with their fathers or mothers because of their decision on how to live their lives, which is really scary and realistic and transparent. We see it a lot in TV, films, and movies and stuff like that, and we know what happens. But again, like you said, if you can mend those relationships, please try to do so, because as my partner says, when the curtains close, the curtains close.
That is so true. And that's something that we take for granted, the fact that our parents are going to continue to be around. I mean, that's not true. And particularly as our parents advance in age and they start to lose, you know, control of their faculties, and they incur more multiple illnesses and things of that nature. Um, we need to take care of our parents when they get into their advanced age.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I don't live with my parents. My parents live in separate states. They were never married. They never lived in the same household. But those are things I have to plan and prepare for. Making sure they both have wills, making sure they both have healthcare proxies, making sure they have affairs in order, or making sure if there's a life insurance plan. Like there's so much to go into it, like finding out the details, having those uncomfortable conversations that nobody wants to have. And I'm an only child, so for me, it's like having two separate conversations with two people that do not sync well.
Well, I remember 4 years ago, in fact, it was about more or less this time that my mother was hospitalized. Unfortunately, my mother did not have a healthcare proxy, so basically, any decisions in regarding her care, we had to be in agreement with me and my three remaining siblings. So, I mean, we're fortunate that we were all in the same accord. But the problem is when when there is no healthcare proxy, and then there's dissent regarding the siblings regarding what course of action in regards to your parents' care.
Yeah, my mom made me her healthcare proxy. She was a two-time cancer survivor, and as I was entering my early 20s, we had that discussion, and she's decided to be a DNR, and she's comfortable with that. And we've had conversations about her passing, what she wants, what her wishes are. I'm trying to get her to get it down on paper, but again, it's a hard conversation to have sometimes.
Well, I mean, in all fairness, no one wants to have the conversation. But the fact of the matter is, sooner or later, you need to have the conversation as far as what course of action you want to take if you're not able to speak for yourself. And then there's also a question regarding how you want your remains to be handled once you passed away.
Yeah, I see so many people. I agree with your comment. Not to make it the stream all grim and creepy, but it is what it is. I see so many people who don't have those things in order, don't have those wishes, those people, those proxies, their affairs in order, and sadly, they pass on, and it's a hassle, it's a mess, it's chaotic, it's searching for funds and what we're gonna do and how we're gonna do it and who's calling the shots and who's taking this and who wants that, and it gets really crazy in certain cultures and communities.
But going back on the topic regarding the fathers, I mean, the only thing that's more unsung heroine as mothers is the fathers, because and particularly nowadays, it's not easy to be a father because first of all, unfortunately, many of the marriages end up in divorce, and sometimes, unfortunately, the father has to get into a big, bitter argument, dispute simply have to see their children. Unfortunately, you have people who use the children as pawns to get back at the significant other, and the ones who really suffer are the children.
Absolutely. You see the fathers that are not ready to be fathers, trying to get it right, trying to do the job, or not trying to do the job, or being in their feelings, or being emotional, or being upset. So it's hard for some, easy for others, a process for some, others as well. But there's definitely a difference between the mothers and the fathers, as far as the appreciation and recognition, the struggle, what they both go through on their journeys in parenthood, and being a first time parent or a second time parent, or being a parent, co-parenting in different houses without the woman and the child. Like, we don't talk about how fathers feel about all of those kind of situations they go through.
No, we don't. I mean, I remember one time that actually there was a comedy skit, but it's very true when talking about how Father's Day is one of the least acknowledged holidays of the year. I mean, if you take a look at the holidays, which again has more notice, is Christmas, Mother's Day, Halloween. Um, I mean, it's kind of sad in a way that Ghouls and Arbor Day comes before Father's Day. And the fact of the matter is, the father, the role of the father in a healthy relationship, he is the protector, he is the provider. Uh, he's the first male image that a girl will face. So these, unfortunately, unfortunately, like I said before, I mean, they are not very appreciated, and they are not acknowledged.
Absolutely, and like you said, I like something you just said. fathers are pretty much like, girls' first, not crush, but first vision of, what I guess they'll see their boyfriend as, or, kind of, the first idea of what a man should be for them or whatever the case is. And we don't tune in on that as well, and talk about how that absence of a father for a young girl is bad, or that absence for a young boy for a father is bad, or, we don't talk about those things either.
No, I mean I want you, and actually, you know, another thing, when it comes to the fathers. Okay, okay. Let me just say the responsible fathers. What they would do is that they'll have a discussion with their daughters regarding how a lady should act and how to conduct herself, and be mindful that there are certain boys um, that have certain carnal urges that they're trying to exhibit.
That's very true. I acknowledge that and understand that as well. I get that. Um, that's without saying, that happens for environmental reasons, I think, demographic reasons. I think environment plays a lot into it, how the child grows up, the environment they grow up in, what they spend the majority of their time in, that sticks with them mentally, even into their adulthood, as far as how they even move when they become adults.
Yeah, and we're living at an age where the single parenthood is almost encouraged to a huge agree.
Yeah, and while it may be a good thing for some mothers or some women who may be going through DV situations or other rape situations and stuff like that, it can be bad for other women who again need that male influence, male role model in the household, and they just grow up their entire life with a woman. There's consequences, or not necessarily consequences, but there are, like, certain situations that can come out of that for a young man or young boy.
Yeah, it is true. I mean, look, and also, if you take a look, like in social media, I mean, it's almost like being a single mom is being glorified. Okay, now now we gotta bear in mind that there are many reasons why a woman becomes a single mom. Um, Part of it, it could be because of death. Part of it, it could be because of abuse. I mean, there are many factors.
I agree. There are many factors, and we can't really hit all of them. But we can just talk from various perspectives on it. So from how we're speaking about it, for those who actually like want to be in the child's life, or cannot be in the child's lives, or can't find the child in the mother. For those like trying to be the stand up, ones, and really busting their butts, doing whatever they need to do 24/7. Like, we see you, we commend you, we respect that, and we know you don't get the respect and acknowledgement and appreciation you deserve. So this is why this is a shout out for all of those men.
No, I mean, look, like I said before, and mind you, there are single moms that have done a great job raising their children alone, but not all of them have done so. And really, if you want your child to have as healthy an outlook, you do need to have a father and mother in the child's life.
I agree. And I think it's sad when, that can't happen and court has to be involved, or mediators have to be involved, or just the child not seeing one of the parents for a lengthy amount of time as a result of it. I think that's sad. I think that's cool. I think it's a bad thing when the child doesn't know a certain side of the family's family because of personal resentment between the parents. I think those are all horrifying things that actually happen in a lot of our communities and we don't talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, and one thing we have to understand that we're dealing with. Um, it's almost like they try to discourage the two-parent family to exist.
Yeah, I think it's very hard. I think they definitely do, in some ways, subliminally try to discourage the two family household to exist. And for me, it was a personal decision to try to enforce that and motivate that and manifest that and, really try not to do what my parents did, by almost any means necessary, but not that, detailed.
Yeah, well, look, in all fairness, I have never been a parent. I never had children. But one thing, one thing that we do have to understand is that we have to try to uh, value, uh, fatherhood. Okay.
It's really tough. Like, TMI without too but not too much personal details about my life. But for me personally speaking, my partner now I've known since I was about 21 years old, and we dated off and on for a while. And we had my youngest daughter together back in 2009, and we definitely had trials and tribulations, breakups and makeups and stuff like that, and decided to like really give it a real serious, effort to have that two-parent household. And it's hard. There's ups and downs, just like anybody else's situation or relationship, but I think it's really hard work, and a lot of people just don't want to do hard work.
Well, look, the fact of the matter is to maintain an healthy relationship between two consenting adults does require a great deal of work, and it also requires a great deal of give or take. I mean, you're never going to get everything you want, okay? But what you try to do is you try to develop, mutual respect, mutual love, and mutual appreciation. And then when you're going through those difficult times, you do what you can to try to work through the rough spots and resolve whatever conflicts that's involved. I mean, that's the key. I mean, and both parties have to be willing to work on the relationship.
Yeah, that's definitely what it is. And like there's gonna be days where you hate the partner, there'll be days where the partner hates you, when the child hates both of you guys, and it's work. It's not like TV or the movies or what we see on social media. Is nothing like that at all. It takes a lot of communication. It takes a lot of out of your mind, out of sight kind of things, well, more to say like, not living in your mind and not having too many people involved in how you choose to live your situationship, family relationship, whatever we want to call it. And just keeping your stuff personal because people can sabotage and you can easily self sabotage. And social media is a new danger out here that destroys relationships, people's lives, and all other kind of things if you let it.
Yeah, but okay, but one problem that does exist is whenever a relationship ends, you have to allow time for yourself to heal mentally and emotionally. Because if you do not do so, what's going to happen is you're going to bring in what emotional baggage into the next relationship, and then you're going to um, harm the relationship, and it's a never ending cycle. That's the mistake that people have made, both males and females. But again, it takes time and effort and a willing to resolve whatever issues to keep a healthy relationship. And when it comes, again, when it comes to the fathers, um, you know, we expect a lot, and unfortunately, we're not always willing to show the appreciation that our fathers deserve.
I agree. Like you hit some major points. I really appreciate that. Like so many people just don't want to have these real conversations about these real points, these real factors, these real things that are happening, and it's uncomfortable. I get it, but the kids suffer. And Father's Day, is supposed to be about fathers, spending time with their families, or showing appreciation to dads, like letting men know, like the respect and honor families have for the men and what they do in the household. And when you don't have that dynamic, sometimes it's just like, again, how Mother's Day and Father's Day kind of are not the same. How Father's Day is more watered down compared to Mother's Day. Like there's a lot of emphasis on Mother's Day, but not that much on fathers. And we know there's some great men out there working hard with their children. Like my heart and body smiles when I see a man in the street with his baby stroller, or has the kangaroo knapsack with the baby, or he's at the park with the baby and the dog, or he's picking the kid up from school. Because in my mind, I'm thinking automatically the wife must be the breadwinner. She must be the one working while he's taking care of the family. Like the roles can switch and it's okay. Like men can do it, women can do it. Like it can be a two-family household. It can be a productive unit, but again, like they don't talk about the fathers that stay home with the kids while the moms work, and the credit they should get. Like they don't talk about those things.
Well, I mean, unfortunately, and another issue is that we put a lot of pressure on the men. Like they're supposed to be stoic, they're supposed to be strong, they're supposed to be, you know, uh, hardworking, traditional. Where I'm not going to say some women, not all, but some, they want a traditional man as a husband, but yet they're not willing to become the traditional woman. Okay. Now, don't get me wrong. I think women should be able to pursue whatever as far as their goals and their dreams and their aspirations. However, when you get into a relationship, you have to think about what's in the best interest of both parties.
Yeah, it's important, and people don't do that.
No, and we have seen the results when relationship after relationship ends, and there is a lack of accountability. Um, you know, we're more than willing to blame the partner for the relationship ending, but yet we're not being honest and keeping ourselves accountable. Uh, I've stated it before when it comes to my ex-wife, um, that the reason why our marriage ended divorce because we both play a role in the dissolution of a marriage. I always said that from the beginning. I never placed the entire guilt on my ex-wife.
Yeah, and that's good because some people do that, and again, let's talk about the men that come into relationships with women who already have grown kids or infants or toddlers or children or babies, and really take on that adult father role from day one. Like that's a lot for a man to do. That's not his biological child, or even in general for a man who's never had a child. The first time he has a child, stepping into that role to do all of those things that a book really can't tell you. Like that's a lot for a man when a man is supposed to be the protector, the one who protects the family. Like that can be a lot. And even though it may sound sexist coming from a woman, but again, the gender roles we play in society really puts it out there that women should stay home and cook and clean and take care of the kids, and men are supposed to work. But although we see women working just the way we see men working, still it's still considered that way.
Well, you see, that's a problem. Is that we have people today that are resisting, um, the all gender roles for whatever. I mean, particularly when it comes to some of the so-called modern women. Some of them want to be boss chicks and things of that nature. And we need to return um, to the traditional roles of males and females. But again, there has to be mutual respect shown to both parties.
Absolutely, I agree. It can be one way. It definitely has to go both ways. It just wouldn't be fair. But the way the world works today, the gender roles are so mixed up. We have feminine men, masculine women. We have this whole community of alphabets. There's so much going on. So it's like it's different. It's not like the 60s and 70s and 80s and 90s. Back then, like time is evolving. People, culture, gender is even evolving to pronouns. Like, and people are still struggling with that. I know I am. So things are changing so much, and still, although people with pronouns may be born male or female, they are fathers too, aren't they?
Well, when it comes to gender fluidity, that's a controversial issue because people are trying to expand what is the definition of the gender roles and things of that nature. Um, it says that you have, like I remember on TikTok, there was this transgender woman, and I'm just gonna say, with quotation marks, talking about that she's a lesbian and that she has the right to use the ladies' room, and that she will take a gun and shoot anyone that would try to stop her from doing that, and things of that nature. And that's an extreme example of that community, because we all know that not everyone who's transgender is that violent or has those violent tendencies.
Right, not all, for sure. We know that.
Yeah. Uh-huh. So, but I mean, it's not easy. And today it's very hard for the man, to play the father role. I mean, due to certain unrealistic expectations that place on them by society and things of that nature. And then to add that, you have the situation where unfortunately you have uh, some women that do lie about who was the biological father, and sometimes they go through life, you know, with that secret, even taking that secret to the grave.
Wow, it's so crazy that you say that. I just came across an experience like that, with someone trying to do something like that, where they wasn't gonna tell someone anything until, maybe possibly, that to the grave, and it hit close to home, and it was like, wow, I can't believe that happened to somebody I know, and to know that that happens still in this day, and you know, it happens to someone close to me is like kind of like mind boggling, but at the end of the day, it's like, family is what you make it. It's not always just, what your blood DNA and your legacy is, so that's how I'm rolling with that situation, despite finding out some stuff, like what you said, finding out something is not even what you thought it was. But yeah, that happens, and even those fathers don't get credit for being on a birth certificate as the father, but not being the father, or paying child support for 18 or 21 years and not being the father. Like, we don't hear heroic thank you, sorry, saga stories or rewarding positive stories about those men who take on the responsibilities that are not theirs and end up losing in the end. And those are great men.
Well, that's the reason why in some states they're trying to make it a crime to commit paternity fraud because I mean to have a man to pay child support for a child that's the child's not biologically his, and the fact of the matter is that that man cannot be reimbursed for the deception.
Yeah, that's crazy. Again, I mean, although I'm a woman, and I feel like women should have rights to terminate a pregnancy if possible due to grapes and stuff like that, or whatever the situation may be, depending on the terms of the situation with the woman and the unborn or whatever the case is. I still feel too with the men, it's like the Lord is not protecting the man in that same way. It's more favored to the woman versus the man. Even when we find out the man ain't the father, like the Lord's not really rewarding or helping or supporting the man. It's straight DNA tests, and even if they find out you're not the father, some men are still taking care of these children legally because it's been so many years.
Well, I mean that's and the fact of the matter is even if the father wants to have sole custody of the child, I mean, it's so it's stacked up against the fathers because it automatically assumes that the mother always was going to do the best job raising the child, and it's not always the case.
That's a really good valid point too, because there are so many unfit mothers. I know so many friends that have a zero relationship with their mother, and it's just mind boggling to me because I'm not gonna say all of their mothers are unfit, but I'm meeting more and more people that don't have relations with their mother, and I'm starting to think it's a reason for that. And it's just like I don't understand it because I've always had my mom in my life, regardless of what her situation was in her life or what she was going through, traumatic or non-traumatic. So when I hear or meet people that have not have their mom in their life, or have had a mom that really put no effort or no support or no love or affection or attention or no kind of maternal instinct bond, it's always hard for me to grasp that in some way for me because I don't come from that. But it's becoming more common for me to come across people that just have no relationship at all with their mother.
Yeah, I mean, there's even stories where a mother would disown her child simply because as the child becomes an adult and they want to like reach out and try to have a relationship with the father.
Yeah, it's like a movie that was on TV that was really based on a true story called Antoine Fisher. It's about a black male who pretty much grew up in foster homes and group homes and stuff like that, and had a journey looking for his biological parents and his mom, and he ended up finding him at the end of the story. And his mom pretty much never made an effort to look for him, and he just had so many questions for her. And it was based on a true story, and it was like really one of those stories where you just wanted to cry watching it.
Yeah, I mean, it is sad. It is sad, and what people they don't understand is that when you choose to engage in sexual activity um, in a reckless way, what happens is, not only does the woman become pregnant, but there's also the exposure to STDs, and then you know the again the one who suffers is the child.
Yeah, like I even remember me personal story TMI. Like my dad had children with another woman, and I knew my siblings growing up. I didn't live with them, But I remember a time where, I wasn't, really able to see them because of my dad and my mom's and, their situation, and that had nothing to do with me, but it affected the child, me, my ability to possibly, bond or get to know my siblings. And that often happens. Sometimes, the child suffers. The child doesn't know the aunts or the uncles or the cousins or the grandma or anyone on the dad's side or the mom's side or vice versa. And it's becoming so common.
Well, and that's the reason why. And look, I remember when my mother was alive, God rest her soul, and she used to say this to my young nephews and my grandnephews, that whenever you decide to spend some time with the ladies, please make sure that you have your party hat with you. Now we all know what that means. It's just, it was just my mother's way of making sure that you do not do anything to expose yourself to any STDs or unwanted pregnancies.
Yep, I definitely know what that means, and I definitely, remember hearing that a lot back in the day, before internet and social media. I definitely remember hearing that a lot around the way in different households. And that was a common thing. Like that was something you heard on TV in schools, in the households, amongst friends, and yeah, like, and you knew what that meant automatically. It was no, what are you talking about? It was understood.
Yeah, but like I said, a huge shout out to the biological fathers, the adoptive fathers, the stepfathers, the grandfathers, the uncles, the older brothers, and any male that provided a positive male role model image.
Absolutely. I definitely want to shout out all the fathers, just like Jose said just now. We know, society knows, the world knows, women know, children even know that, you guys do not get the recognition, acknowledgement, and support you guys deserve. Again, whenever I see a father outside with his children without the mother, my whole body glows up and smiles eternally because for me, I just assume that, he's playing his part in the household. He's not letting society get in his head and call him a mom, dad, or anything like that. He is playing his part on the team the same way a woman plays her part on the team when she is the mother, whether she's making whether she has a job or her job is taking care of the household. Like it's a great, beautiful thing for me when I see it.
Yeah. Hmm. And one thing that gets discussed is that the single moms lament about how the single moms are treated differently from the single moms. I mean, the difference with the single dads is that they're being responsible, but without all the resources that single moms get. Okay. Now, again, like I said before, there are many reasons why a woman can become a single mom, and we cannot paint all of them with the same brush.
Nope, we absolutely cannot. Everyone has their own unique, different situation, and we are not supposed to judge, although we often do judge in a time like today with all this technology and TMZ and all this cell phone footage stuff we see 24/7 without having to do much research. But yes, everyone's situation is unique, so you just never know. We got to be more compassionate. We got to, again, give more appreciation and acknowledgement and support to the men out there that are really doing the damn thing.
Yes, that's true. That's true. Hopefully, where with more content creators, bringing to light, the things that the fathers go through, and and the sacrifices that they go through. Maybe they'll finally get that recognition that they so deserve.
Hopefully, again, we know they're out there. I know everyone watching in real time, the replay, whatever the case is. I know when you hear this conversation of me and Jose talking about, fathers, you will automatically think about the man that you know in your life who's that stand up guy. So we all know that person.
That is so true.
Jose, I definitely want to wrap this up. I have some things to do. Can you please shout out your channel and let my viewers over here tell them about your channel and what you do over there?
Okay, well, thank you very much. Basically, I have two channels. I mean, I have my main channel, which is Uncommon Sense with Jose Negron, where we talk about everyday issues and we try to find logical solutions. And I have a smaller channel called Latina Diaspora, where we talk about issues regarding Latinos, particularly Latinos born and raised in the United States. In fact, I will be live tomorrow night at 9:30 p.m. Talking about Ebony K. Williams becoming a single mom at the age of 40. So I'm going to have an interesting discussion about it. And my take is, well, she's an adult. She can do whatever she wishes. I don't have to agree with it, but things. And so it's just a discussion. And if you have not done so, please consider subscribing to both my channels. And we'll see you at another time.
Thank you so much, Jose. Definitely, if you can, you got the time, please, if you could drop the link to your channel in the chat.
Uh, okay. It's kind of hard for me because I can only do it in the like in the what you would call it the private chat because I didn't think I was gonna put on the link, and sometimes my computer can, and I don't want this uh, string to go longer than what it is because I know that you're trying to wrap this up. So just
No problem. Well, I found your link and I'm gonna post it in the chat right now. So don't worry about it. But you can definitely tell my viewers over here on the NY Grapevine about your channel and
oh
when
okay.
you live and all that.
Okay, well, all right. Well, in that case, I'm going to depart. Thank you very much for having me, and enjoy the rest of your weekend. And a shout out to all the responsible male role models, whether it be fathers, biological fathers, adoptive fathers, foster fathers, uncles, grandfathers, older brothers, older cousins, or anyone that provides a positive male image. So have a good weekend and take care and peace.
Thank you. It was great seeing you today and thank you for taking time out of your day to jump on my panel. I know it's been a while.
It's okay. I mean, but we'll meet again real soon. Take care.
Good night. Well, that's it,
Good night.
folks. You've heard it all. This is a quick open discussion regarding Father's Day. I wanted to spend a special shout out to all the fathers out there doing the damn thing that don't get the recognition they deserve. We don't talk about it on social media, or the news, or any real life platform at all. And I wanted to just do that for those, guys, that are out there. Shout out to my dad, all the dads out there doing their thing. My partner, of course. My children's father. Like I don't have baby daddy drama or men drama in that situation, so I'm grateful. I'm appreciative for that. I know there are people that do have that kind of drama, but thank you for sticking to the end of this video. Hopefully, you guys like and subscribe to this channel. This open discussion with me on Common Sense with Jose and Grown. Hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that comment button. Let me know what you think about this video. You can also hit the cash app right now if you want to too. Take a picture, pause, stop this, hit the cash app, show your girl some love. Let me know how I met you, how you know me. Peace out, y'all. Have a great evening.